so let's transition then into what were some of your first introduction and impressions of Typo Negative once you did discover them? Like how did you get into them? What was that entry point, and what were some of your first kind of impressions that they maybe made on you too?
Yeah, it was wild. I just was like, whoa. When I first heard, like, these guys are, this is intense. You know, I was I loved it. I mean, I just, something immediately, like, I latched onto. So I had a group of friends, you know, I had a very specific group of friends in high school. And then, you know, my buddies, like, not my college buddies, but, you know, my buddies from home that, you know, we're all the same age. So, but when we were home over the summers, you know, obviously we would be hanging out together. Yeah. And so we got into, you know, I had a really good friend who was into, like, I was the AC/DC guy. He was all about Iron Maiden.
I'm waiting in my cold cell when the bell begins to chime, reflecting on my past life, and it doesn't have much time, 'cause at 5 o'clock they take me to the gallows pole.
Okay.
Like, he's like, he had to buy every Iron Maiden CD and just like immerse himself in that world. And, you know, and we all love Judas Priest, and, you know, and then
Judas Priest was kind of the in-between of AC/DC and Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
you know?
kind of. Yeah.
I got both of those sides.
Exactly. So anyway, you know, then I had another friend that was even into like a lot music that was a lot more like, I don't know, under the radar, not well known. And then we had a couple mutual friends who were incredibly talented guitar players, and they were in a band together, and they introduced us to like different types of music, you know, but it was all freaking rock and roll at the end of the day.
Yeah, right.
You know, we're like, you know what? We like rock and roll, and everybody else can go screw themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
And so anyway, I'll never forget this. We used to drive to a CD store. I love CDs still, by the way.
Yeah,
man.
I
miss CD. I miss collecting CDs.
Yep.
So anyway, we used to, there was the local mall where, you know, everything seemed to be overpriced. And then there was this store about a half hour away. And actually it was in Danbury, Connecticut. I think it might have been a Tower Records or something along those lines. But we knew that we could, A, find albums from the bands that we liked that were more rare or not as well known. And B, you know, they'd be a little bit cheaper. Now, the irony there is that we were probably spending more money on gas to get there.
Yeah,
so
right.
But like, it was all about the experience. So one of those rides, my buddy, he had the Slow Deep and Hard album CD, and I think he might have gotten it there. And we were listening to it in the car, and you know, the first song, this is probably the first song I ever heard by them, come to think of it. It was Unsuccessfully Coping with the Natural Beauty of Infidelity, which is the politically correct, or the, I should say, PG version of the song, right?
Yeah.
But I was like...
Which, by the way, coolest song title of all
really
time.
Is. Yeah. It really is. So anyway, he played this, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Which translates to being mad because your girl fucked somebody. But he made it beautiful because he's a poet, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, but the riff was so freaking catchy.
You make me hate myself.
Like, I loved learning how to play that riff on the guitar. It's not hard, but it was like, it's so memorable and so catchy. And like right away, I'm like, oh, I can get into this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so, but that's when, you know, and then the store, we used to, you know, go to this place to get I think that's probably where I got my first typo CD. I don't know if it was Slow Deep and Hard or Bloody Kisses, but and then my other buddy had the Origin of the Feces album, which was like great. But you know, it's that fake live album, which is hilarious because, you know, it's obviously a fake crowd that he's talking to, and it's like, you know.
But he does such a good job of the way he's talking to him, because that's from playing in a band and clubs. I can tell you, those are some of the conversations that you have.
It sounds natural.
Sound man, wake up, stupid. Hey, turn this shit off. They say we suck. We paid $15 American dollars to get in here, and we're getting paid for the shit. Who's the real asshole here?
Yeah, one of the they stopped playing in the middle of one of the songs, and I can't remember. He's like, we found out, you know, we just got word that there might be a bomb in the building, so you know, everybody needs to exit. And he goes, so how's he worded? He goes, so
instead of standing here looking at me, why don't you turn around and walk out the door?
And then just the crowd noises and stuff. It's just hilarious, and you know, and
the fact that it's not like they did it to make it sound like they were playing to a crowd that loved them.
Right? Yeah.
It was the opposite.
Yeah,
the crowd was like, "No, we're not into this.
Yeah, you guys are a shitty band, but we're here because we got nothing better to do."
Yeah.
And so you know, and obviously Peter Steele's like fake interactions, you know, with the crowd. It's just hilarious. So anyway, so that's kind of how I initially got introduced to them. But I would say the album that really did it for me was Bloody Kisses.
No more nights of blood and fire. No more nights of blood and fire. Yeah, I always thought.
I was like, it just. That's the, you know, kind of the first record I listened to that, you know, made me realize, hey, like, these guys are on to something. Like, this is not like anything I've ever heard before in my life, and it's awesome.
Yeah, right. That's awesome. And again, it's funny, you know, that because I know for me, I went in the reverse order. Like, Christian Woman was the first one I ever heard. When it came on the radio, it was an edited version, but that came on the radio, and I can remember being at Tyler Junior College in East Texas before a class, and it came on in, you know, with that cool little intro that it has with the synth, you know, that's kind of like that almost kind of pseudo choir sound.
Yes, yeah.
Across upon her bedroom wall, from grace she will fall, an image burning in her mind, and between her thighs.
And then when he starts singing, and it's such a unique sound that I remember thinking, I can see it clear as day, that I was like, I'm gonna be late to class, but oh well, because, you know, back then you couldn't just go home and listen to something.
Right.
You know, like if it came on the radio, you had to listen to it, otherwise you weren't gonna catch it.
Yeah,
we didn't have Shazam to figure out who it was. I had to try to catch lyrics to go then look it up and figure out
those days.
But what really, you know, spoke to me about it at that point, because there's different stages along.
Which song was that? Were you
Christian Woman?
Okay, because I had the same kind of experience with Christian Woman.
Yeah,
same thing.
Because that was their big first radio kind of single.
Yeah.
And for me, because you know, there's different points which we'll talk about, some of the later points that furthered the intrigue, but that one was big for me because I grew up in East Texas, went to a school in White House, Texas, where which
Mahomes.
people know, people know that now.
So is it a dynasty now?
Yeah, it's the start of one. We're not done. I know we're gonna celebrate tonight, celebrate the Pride Wednesday, Kansas City, but we're not done. We got a young team. We're gonna keep this thing going.
The people didn't used to know what the hell that was at all.
Yeah.
You know, my my inner circle of musicians I talk about all the time, we all came from there.
Now, the truth can finally be told. The inner circle.
But the thing, I was always, and part of this I think was growing up with 3 older brothers, but I was very much not a Christian. My father was, but he didn't force me to go to church. He didn't go to church himself. It was very more of a personal relationship for him.
Yeah.
In his past, he was much more involved with it. By the time I came along, it was a little bit different story, but he was still very much into it. But all of my friends were, very kind of devout Christians, and I would have conversations with them trying to disprove things.
Some people say we're just a computer simulation run by a higher species. Is that true?
It is.
My guy sucks. Want to trade guys for a little while?
And just try to think outside the box, but I felt kind of alone in that sense.
Yeah.
And I even, there was one time where me and my first love, back in 6th grade, I was 11 years old, and she and I did some indecent acts in a church.
She'd like to know inside of her, deep inside of her.
It's hardcore, man. That's
Yes,
hardcore.
I remember leaving just thinking,
Thank you, God.
Don't mention it, Peter.
God, he knows what turns you on.
Have fun.
yeah, I'm a rock star. But my point to that was that all of a sudden, fast forward, I'm in college and this song comes on. This guy's talking about this girl being in church, masturbating while she's in church, wanting to have sex with God and all these different things. But he did it in a way that was romantic. There was this romance to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just overtly sacrilegious to be like, fuck religion. It wasn't about that. It was just more of this sensual kind of experience about it. And that, I was like, okay, I'm sold. I got to learn more about this.
Yeah, I mean, something that you would, obviously would be considered beyond taboo.
So remember, you need him to guess the word on top without using any of the words underneath it. Okay. If you do, you get buzzed.
They know, honey. All right, ready? Go!
Okay, I love buying these online.
Oh boy, shoes, candles.
No, last week you were like, honey, the last thing you need is another...
gun.
Yes.
He say gun?
Okay, okay, I'm really cranky in the morning until I've had my...
Acid.
Yes. My nickname for your penis.
Tiny Tim.
The other one.
Garbage.
Yes.
Yeah.
At couples therapy, we took those tests.
Personality.
Yes, and you're a type A, and I'm a...
Sociopath.
Ding, ding. Okay, the night we met, I was on...
ketamine.
And...
On parole.
And...
On fire. Yes!
Wow. Okay. I am not legally allowed back in this state.
Oh my God, babe. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida. Help me out here, babe.
Yeah.
Turned
especially back then.
Yeah, they kind of turned it into something that is, it's just a kind of just human nature in a lot of ways. And it's like you can't sometimes control where your emotions might be coming from or where they may be leading you. And so very like taboo and inappropriate in a lot of ways, but the way this song is the way the song was created just makes it doesn't come across that way.
Yeah, and then once I picked up the album and you start digging into again, I come from that trudge rock kind of slower perspective, and you have things like the actual song "Bloody Kisses." Which is, this kind of painful double suicide kind of song.
The song technically, I don't know if this is completely accurate, but evidently a lot of it, I read somewhere that it was about his cat, or like had to do with his cat. It was like a metaphor or something. I don't know.
While it's no secret that Type O Negative frontman Peter Steele was well known for having an unusually strong connection to cats, many fans may not know just how much this emotional bond influenced his music and personal life. Peter revealed that the song Bloody Kisses was actually written about mourning his childhood cat Venus, and shared that his pets were often his most trusted source of unconditional love and support. In fact, Peter cared so much for his cats that when he fell ill near the end of his life, he refused to go to the hospital because he wanted to stay with his beloved cat Tito, who was also sick. Sadly, Peter and Tito ended up losing their life on the exact same day, a poignant testament of their profound connection.
I mean, I would believe it. I would believe it with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, it also, because I came from that literature kind of side, it tapped into like the Romeo and Juliet kind of,
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage.
Star-crossed lovers dying and can't being together kind of thing. So I even, at that point in time, I went and wrote and recorded an entire kind of Type O Negative tribute album. Like, the songs aren't great because I was still early. Like I wrote from a wee age, but I didn't really hit my stride in writing until I was like in my 20s. So I was like, maybe, I don't know. So I guess maybe it wasn't THC College, because I think, when did that come out? When did Bloody Kisses come out?
I think it was 93.
Okay, yeah. So it would have been while I was in high school then.
Yeah, 93.
Because that album that I did in kind of tribute to them was before. That was when I was like 17 or something like that. 16 or 17.
That would have been my senior year of high school.
Okay. All right. That makes more sense. Yeah. And I had a song called Bloody Love. It was very much influenced from Bloody Kisses, and Dying Pyre, with people, having sex and lighting themselves on fire. And
light yourself on fire!
It gave me this entryway to explore what I wrote about instead of just love songs like Bon Jovi, because Bon Jovi was kind of my everything growing up when I was younger. And came out in that way.
I was a fan, man.
It unlocked this kind of darker side to experiment with.
Yeah, that's really cool.